was your favorite subject and professor, sir, at the time of your UG?
My favorite subject was digital logic design, and
Okay.
I think Dr. CVS Rao was our professor.
Serious
Okay,
stuff, sir.
and he he was the one who kind of ignited that interest,
Yes.
in that
Yes, sir.
whole logic design, and it was really fascinating to learn, the ones and zeros,
Yes,
the bits
sir.
and bytes, and I still remember him teaching that corner map and how to,
Came back.
yeah, exactly, K map and all. So yeah, that was the starting point of this whole interest in logic design, and which eventually, I took it to chip design and everything. So.
Right, sir. Thank you. Mark, can you ask some questions?
Yeah, actually,
Oh, by the way, so you go by Mark. All
Mark.
right. Okay, okay. That's why I wanted to ask you, should I call you Markandeya, or,
Some
do
name.
you have a short name? All right. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
honestly, like I would prefer Markandeya as of now.
I know, I know. Markandeya is a beautiful name,
Beautiful
and
name.
Yeah,
except that it's a little bit long.
a little bit long, yeah.
Mm. But yeah,
But
go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, so sir, continuing with this same question, like
Mm.
what are the different things that you would say are the best life lessons in your entire education, career wise? Yes, but in education, while you are going through different, you even did masters, right? So even there,
Mhm.
what what are the things that were really like points that people has to know, or even people who are starting off with their careers has to know those points?
Well, no, no meaning. One thing, okay. Whatever you do, you have to do full justice to that. Okay. If you are taking a course, you have to do full justice to that course. So that means you have to dedicate yourself in really understanding that course, and whatever, if there is a project that is associated with it, make sure you do that sincerely, 100% dedication. Okay, and that same thing, after you finish your education, needs to be carried over into your, starting of the career. Another thing, important thing is, go over and beyond. Okay. uh, Go always a little bit extra. If there is a project, and the scope of the project is this much, yeah, you can do that very easily. But if you
Yes.
put that extra effort and do something a little bit more, that is always important. Okay. And not only in, not so much maybe in your coursework, because coursework you can finish your whatever is required, and that's all it is. But especially when you start your career, very important to give your 100% and go beyond whatever is the norm. Okay. Don't be average, you have to be beyond, above average. Okay, so that's very, very important. So that's one
Got it.
key thing I would recommend and suggest.
Sure, sir. So who or what was your motivation during your career journey?
Actually, I am a, motivation was just to excel. Okay, that was the general motivation. Excel in whatever you do. Okay, now with that thought process in mind, with that fun in mind, whatever you are taking, you are doing full justice to that. And at each step, if you continue doing that, it starts opening different avenues, different options, different paths. Okay. And another thing is, don't choose the shortcut or the easy way. Okay. Always, in your journey, there will be always a fork. Okay. There will always be two paths, easy and hard. Don't by default choose the easy one. Think about it, and really, if it makes sense, choose the hard path, because the rewards will be much better on that path which is, you know that, right? On the path which is less traveled. you
Yes.
know so always choose that. So, and I had,
Okay.
at every point in my career journey or in my life journey, always there are these decision points that come, and you know that's how I have kind of you know
So
made my choices.
Yes.
can you just say three like such kind of forking points where which were really tough, and which definitely might have taught you lesson or two. So just incidents about those forking points.
Interesting. There are several, but let me just highlight a couple of them. Actually, one kind of, it starts with. Mm, okay, let me highlight a couple of them. Okay, in my in my entrepreneurial journey, um, for example, we had a I had a good job. Okay, very nice, you know, job in a big company. At that time, I was working for Cirrus Logic, and then there are I was in Silicon Valley, and you can see, I was surrounded by pretty smart people, and I used to always hear people starting their own companies and doing wonderful things. So there was that moment, that should I continue my career in a corporate world, or should I take a chance, and start our own journey on our own? And by the way, at that point, the reason why I'm bringing this up is at that point, my wife was pregnant and we were expecting our first child. So
This was
now it's
in
a very, this was in 1995, 95, 96 time frame.
okay.
Okay. By the way, my son is of your age now.
Maybe he's
Yes.
born in 96, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he was born in 96.
Okay, 4 years
So,
younger than us.
um, yeah.
Okay.
So basically, at that point, I had to make a decision. Should I stick to a very comfortable, safe corporate job, take care of my family, or should I take the chance and try out a harder path in in real world? So that was one kind of a decision point, and I said, okay, what's the worst that can happen? Fine, whatever you are going to do on your own will fail, and you will come back and find another job. And that was the confidence that I had, and I said, okay, let me give the harder route a chance. And that's how I kind of took that harder route. So that was one incident. Then another incident that I would like to bring up is then early part of our entrepreneurial journey. uh, we were a small company, and at that time,
What was that company
um,
name, sir?
actually, the company was called Stargate Solutions. Okay,
Okay.
uh, Stargate Solutions, and that company we used to develop these semiconductor IP. Okay, soft IP like your memory controllers, network controllers, IO peripheral interfaces, and we used to provide these solutions to other big companies who used to use them inside their chips, inside their products. So now we had very cool IP that we had developed. So we along as we were kind of developing these products, we got offers for buyout. There were big companies who were interested in our technology, and they said, okay, we will just give you some money and acquire everything, come and join us. So again, it's a pretty tempting thing, to accept that offer and move on. But then at that time, again, we took a step back. We thought, okay, why not? Why be happy with just a small thing that we are doing? Okay, let's dream bigger. Why not convert our company itself into something which is going to make its own product? And let's take that chance. So we kind of rejected that offer and moved on to the next phase, where we took up bigger risks and bigger accepted bigger challenges to take it to the next level. Okay, so that was another incident. And
So
then maybe just to
what company you got an offer to buy out, sir? Just
so
out
actually,
of curiosity.
so I'll tell you, the company was called Centilium Communications. Okay,
Okay.
this was in 2000.
Tutor.
Yeah, Centilium Communication.
Yes.
They wanted to acquire us, and we kind of rejected their offer. And by the way, when we kind of transformed this whole thing into another company called Platis Communications. Okay, and then in 2001, our company Platis was acquired for a much bigger sum by a company called Adaptic. So
Okay.
that's how our risks that we took resulted in better rewards. We took the harder path, harder route, and of course got rewarded for that. And
Interesting.
then maybe just a third incident could be, um, yeah, after our acquisition, then we could have again chosen a corporate path and just had a wonderful corporate life. But we decided to leave that and again start a new entrepreneurial journey, and we started another company. So that was again a tough decision, while everything that is already going well. But we decided to, me and my friends, we decided to give it another shot. So these are the kind of things, at every step of the way you have to make choices and decisions. And you can take up harder choices, which if you give yourself uh, that chance to go and take that harder route, definitely you will get rewarded. And another thing, these are all cliches, you won't know until you try, you know so
Yep.
you have to give it a shot. And okay, you fail, fine. Failure
Yeah.
is not a bad thing. It's not something, because it teaches you so many other things. You will be a much better person coming out of that rigorous exam compared to just a one dimensional person sticking in one area. So so these are some of the things, interesting choices that I ended up making.
So actually,
Fine.
this brings me one more interesting question, sir. Not from the paper that we have prepared, but
Yeah, yeah, no problem.
uh,
Impromptu, good. Hmm.
was your wife working while you were all these things were happening, or
Actually, she was working in the beginning, but then once I had my first son, then she stopped working. Okay, so she was a housewife, and in all this, her support was very essential, because without that, how can I focus on the
Yeah.
work? And I
Yes.
have to give. I mean, we used to work pretty much 12 to 14 hours a day, 6 days a week minimum. So you know it's very hard. One thing I'll tell you, it's very hard to do this so-called balance. Okay, I would say it's not possible, frankly. If you are an entrepreneur, okay, you cannot say I will do all this balancing and all. You have to dedicate yourself, period. And for that, you would need definitely a full support from your
absolutely?
home.
I can see that
Yeah,
actually.
absolutely. I'm sure you guys might be. I don't know if you are married or not, but that's okay. Good. So you need support from your other half. Otherwise you can't take up these challenges, which require so much of energy, so much of focus, so much of dedication. So
Yep, yep,
yeah.
I agree. I totally
So
agree. Actually, my wife established a teaching institute by herself
hmm,
just
hmm,
2 years back, and I can
hmm.
see the kind of struggle she is going through.
Oh, doing things on
Yeah,
her own, right? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So
absolutely,
you have
and
to be fully supportive of her.
absolutely, and when you are saying we did that with this, okay, did this
Hmm.
happen without a partner support? I was thinking, so
No
I
way,
got the
no
answer.
way. Absolutely, absolutely. Hmm.
So, yeah, Rajesh, I think.
Yes. Actually, that question covers me, my question also. Actually, what I
Hmm.
am going to was ask is, can you give us a small glimpse of your family, your brought up, the marriage
Hmm.
life, and how the family supported you in different parts of your life?
Yeah. Hmm. So I I was actually born in Hyderabad, but I spent my initial years in Maharashtra. Okay, so I was there till eighth class, and then we came back to Hyderabad.
What
Okay,
part of Maharashtra, sir?
uh, I was in Marathwada region, so near Aurangabad.
Oh, okay.
So like Hingoli, Vaijapur, bunch of small towns. Okay,
I know Aurangabad.
so okay, actually my wife, she is from Aurangabad.
Okay.
So I really studied in very small schools in villages. And by the way, even it was in Marathi medium. Okay, the English was also not there. So when
Okay.
I came back to Hyderabad, that was my first exposure to a big school and English language. Believe me, in eighth grade, I started learning I am a boy and she's a girl and all that kind of basic thing. So I literally had to, I had nightmares, you know. And by the way, that was another difficult thing I had to, because I could have chosen Marathi medium. There is a
Mhm.
Marathi school in Hyderabad. Okay,
Okay.
I could have finished my education in Marathi medium, but of course, with the help of my family, I understood that
Mhm.
Marathi medium is not going to take you far. Okay, eventually you have to come back to English. So I said, whatever it is, I'm going to take that jump and then study English and be part of an English medium school. So that's how I kind of started, and then yeah. So for my father, everybody they really said this is the right thing to do, and actually my mom was the one who said you better take English medium. Okay, and then my brother and all they helped me learn English and everything, and then that's how I was able to write the entrance exam, get into Usmania, and then I got married in 1993, and my wife, she's an architect actually, and then she came to US. She was working for a couple of years, and then when we had our first kid, she stopped working and started focusing fully on family. So she used to take care of the home, and then I was busy with work. Then I have another daughter. She was born in 1998, so one son and one daughter. And then my son actually he finished his engineering in 2018, and he's working now. He's working for Amazon. And my daughter also, she finished in 2021 her undergrad, and she is in New York. She is also working. So both of my kids are working.
So
So
both
I
of
live
your
in
kids are
California.
US citizens or
Yeah, yeah. They are born in US,
okay.
so they're all US citizens. But in fact, actually, for from 2008 to 2010, for 2 years, I was in Hyderabad, because my company they had office in Hyderabad. So that time for 2 years they were here. So they
Mhm.
went to their middle school, whatever, seventh and eighth grade in Indus International School in Hyderabad.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, so I think yeah. So now they are working. They are all grown up, and now we stay in, of course, California. So me and my wife. Uh, so that's about my family and family journey.
Yes, sir. And coming to sir, actually during our journey and during our education also, we used to listen different advices, best advices sometimes, which are means career breaking situations. Like sometimes it is a great like a pearl. So, what are some of the best advices you have received till yet, sir, at different stages? Best advices you have received
Best advices that I have received.
till yet.
um, Actually, I have read things in terms of somebody actually giving advice.
Hmm.
Uh, was this same thing, like I was surrounded when I was in US, you know, all the friends that, I mean, many of my friends that I had, everybody used to kind of just talk about this thing that until you try, you won't know. Okay. So you have to, anything that you have in mind, you have to give it a shot. Okay. You have to try. So if you are thinking of doing something, don't just let it be a thought, but try it. You know, what is the worst that can happen? You will fail. So don't be afraid of, scared of failure.
Fail.
Simple as that. Okay. Then if you have that kind of mindset, then you will be able to take up challenges, and you'll be able to achieve a lot more things. Don't be static. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Don't be static.
Mm.
You
Nice.
so you do you have any like guru like whom you treat as guru, where
Like mentor.
yeah, mentor is
Mhm.
a yeah English
Good.
word for
Yeah, actually, you know, we have several role models kind of thing. Okay, unfortunately, there is no direct mentor as such whom I'm physically interacting, but role models. Okay, so when, for example, when we were in US and working in companies, like for example, when I was working in Cirrus Logic, the founder of Cirrus Logic is Indian. Okay, his name is Suhas Patil, one of the very well-respected entrepreneurs, one of the early entrepreneurs of Indian origin in Silicon Valley. So we always used to look up to him. How he has started his career, and how he has taken a company from a simple idea to a billion-dollar business. So those are the kind of inspirations and role models that we used to look up to, and draw inspiration from. There are several such players. Okay, there is a person by name Prakash Bhalerao, one of those early entrepreneurs. Uh, Several of them. I'm not able to remember their name offhand, and also all these other big names that you keep hearing. Right from Steve Jobs to Bill Gates and all.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
so they're all kind of different. These are people that are kind of role models that you can learn a lot of things from. So you don't have to have a physical mentor as such, that you need to interact in person, but just by looking at the career and life of these, great entrepreneurs, you learn a lot.
Yes, sir.
uh, so
Uh,
yeah, go ahead, Rajesh.
Okay, sir. One question, sir, I have. By seeing your career path, sir, I mean, it is clear that you have made your journey with your friends. So, what is your opinion on friendship, sir, and how it will have impact on one's life and its career?
Okay, actually, very very
Also
good
your
point.
personal opinion, also your
Yes,
personal
sir.
experience with
Yes,
friendship.
Absolutely,
yes, sir.
absolutely. In fact, actually, I will add to that. What role models or mentors who kind of helped me. Actually, my career is shaped more by my friends. Okay, the people that I had surrounding me, it is kind of dictated and shaped by them more than anybody else. Okay, of course these role models are role models, but my so friendship is very very important. By friendship I mean the type of people that you associate with and interact with.
Hmm.
So in my case, of course, I was always surrounded by people with similar interests, meaning, especially in the US, we're all engineers there, and I was surrounded by engineering friends. But I happened to, fortunately, get in touch with friends who had very similar mindset and also very complementary skills. Okay,
Hmm.
and it just so happened that we started interacting with each other. Actually, a couple of them I knew from Hyderabad, so we kind of met in California, and again started interacting. But pretty soon it became clear that all of us had some um, we wanted to go beyond beyond the normal. Okay, all of us had that drive, that thought, and we also quickly realized that each one of us is bringing very different skill to the table. Okay, and that's how, when we decided that okay, we want to start our entrepreneurial journey by, let's say we want to start a company, then these are the kind of skills that we would need, and here is a perfect set of friends who are bringing these things to the table. So why not all of us get together and do this? So that's how, as I said, friends have played a very, very important role in my career. So the companies that I am talking about, it's not just I'm not the only founder. There is a group of actually
Yes, sir.
four people, who are always together. And that's how we kind of have shaped our journey. So friends have played a very critical and important role.
So one thing, sir, actually, like my experience, my personal experience is that in India, when I'm working with MathWorks or anywhere
Hmm.
that I have seen, this kind of the conversation which drives people to leave the company and establish a new company. This kind of
Hmm.
conversation is not there. Honestly, not there. But I hear from you that in Silicon Valley, people are always talking about establishing the company.
Absolutely, absolutely. So there is something to do. Again, as I said, a lot of things just happened in the sense if okay, okay. For example, if you are in California, especially in Bay Area or Silicon Valley, where I happen to be, where I went after graduation, there is something in the air. Okay, just you are surrounded by people who are constantly talking about doing something on their own, innovating something, so to do that, you have to do something on your own. Okay, so that trend is there, and you draw a lot of inspiration from such things. Now, unfortunately, if you are see, I'm assuming, okay, uh, in Hyderabad or in Bangalore, these type of trends are picking up. I mean, I see a lot of spirit in the youngsters over here and here, Bangalore, Pune, all the other cities. Now, in your specific case, it could be the case of so you will have to go beyond that circle. You will
Okay,
have to now go
whatever circle that
and
I
you
am
Yeah,
having, they're
yeah.
conservative,
exactly, they are
probably.
conservative. So unfortunately, I mean, nothing wrong with that. Those are the people that are your colleagues and you are interacting with them. But you will have to now reach out and seek those type of people who are part of these. I don't know, you might have several such clubs or something. There is this organization tie and all. You might have to be reaching out to those folks if you have any ideas of going beyond your jobs. So you
Actually,
will have
sir,
to make that effort.
Yeah.
this actually makes me wonder one more question. Like,
Mm.
definitely, like right now, I'm down with all the EMIs, car loan, home loan, personal loan, gold loan. What name the loan? I have
Mm.
it on my name. So, uh,
Mm.
and it's actually pulling me down to really take that kind of jump. And it's, I'm talking for myself. This is the case for
Mm.
most of the Indians who are parallels with me.
Correct, correct. I agree.
So,
I agree. Hmm.
were you in that phase when you were taking that career leap, or you said no loans, life will be hell if I take a loan, or is there a moderate path where we can?
Well, actually, I mean, there is no ideal situation. Okay,
Yeah.
you will always have issues, and even in my case, you can't escape EMIs whether you are in here in India. In fact, the EMI concept is borrowed from US. So you are in US, you are perpetually in EMI mode. Okay,
Okay.
so now you have to make that decision. Okay, whether of course you have to make some balancing thing. You have to make a very judicious judgment. You can't be foolhardy, but at some point you will have to take that risk. Okay, so you will have to figure out what is it, what is the safety thing that you need to, minimum safety thing that you need to have in your life. If you have that that bare minimum, and then beyond that you can take the risk. So what I mean is, like,
I
okay,
understand.
keep your EMIs to a minimum, so that even if something goes wrong, you have some cushion to, let's say, carry on for a 6 month or a 1 year period, and then you can explore and take a chance.
Okay.
So you will have to you have to maintain a lifestyle so that it justifies the risks that you are going to take, because things can
So,
always go wrong.
were you having EMIs when you were establishing the companies?
Of course,
Oh,
car
really?
EMI. Of course, car EMI. Nothing goes without EMI in US.
Okay, that's
And then,
interesting.
by the way, you buy a home, you have to pay EMI. So absolutely, it's part of the part of life there.
Okay. So I think we covered most of the questions that we wanted. So, but yeah, there are some more questions. What are your
Okay.
suggestions for a fresher just entering to a different tech roles to kickstart his career in the best way?
Fresh students, I don't know. There is a tendency for fresh students to take things little easy, in the sense, oh, I have done so much of studies now. Now that I have started my engineering, let me take it little easy.
Mhm.
And maybe I'm talking from my experience.
Yes, yes,
Now
No,
it
I
could
see
be
the
little
trend.
different.
yes,
That's
Uh,
still valid now.
and I would say that is absolutely wrong. You have to start with full this thing from day one.
yes.
I'm telling you, 4 years is a wonderful opportunity for you to do so many things. I mean, it need not be just studies, it could be so many other things also, but it's a wonderful, you will never get this kind of time to do whatever the different things that you want to do once you graduate, or especially once you go into a job. So don't waste your time. You utilize your time 100% from day one. Especially freshers, they waste their first year thinking now that they have gotten engineering and this and that,
Fine.
now we can take it easy.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
And
it's
Mhm.
I
happening.
don't know about the system now, but
It's
in our
happening.
case, first year used to be, no, no, first year
Yes.
used to be common across all the branches, and
Okay.
somehow, we just never paid too much attention to that. We used to think, okay, my engineering starts only from second year, because that's when the core
Yeah,
courses
yes, sir.
start.
Super.
And first year was just wasted. But my one advice to the freshers is start your serious studies, not just studies, but start
Explore.
exploring your passions from
Yes,
that first year onwards.
yes.
So,
Don't waste time.
the same question to people who are coming out of college, freshers in the college. So, what is your advice for
For
them?
Presently.
my one key
Current
advice, for them is, if you get a job, okay, you have to do more than what is needed. You have to go beyond. If somebody says, okay, do this, you do that, and okay, done, go home. No, do that and plus two more things. Okay, go beyond whatever is minimum. You cannot do minimum. You have to go beyond that. So especially once you get your first job, you're aim, oh, now that I got a job, some paycheck is coming, money is in the pocket. Do some minimal thing, go and enjoy, but do go beyond. As I said, always go beyond what is minimum.
Okay,
yes, sir.
nice. So, hmm. Rajesh, I
Uh,
see that we have exhausted our questions, or do you
no,
find any more?
yes, a few more,
Okay, yeah,
three to
please.
four are there.
Yeah.
Actually, can you explain in crisp, sir, about your role and positions in different organizations you have? Like engineer, you have been co-founder, now you are director. So, your role and
Yeah,
position.
yeah. So I mean, I started my career as an
Engineer.
engineer,
Yes, sir.
and then engineer, became senior engineer, and then whatever staff engineer, that progression.
Mhm.
But
Yes,
then when I came out of the corporate world and we started our company, that's when we have the co-founder
co-founder role.
tag. And
Yes.
as co-founder, I mean, you can pick up whatever tag you want. You can be VP of this and VP of that. But bottom line is, you as a co-founder, you have to wear different hats. Okay,
Yes.
if you are in a customer call, you might play the role of a customer support engineer. If you are in a technical due diligence call, you might play the role of a architect.
Mhm.
So different roles. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Mhm.
but the key thing is you are founder and you have a lot more responsibilities than one
Yes.
specific thing. Of course, as I said, we were a group of friends. Everybody used to take one main ownership and then complement each other. So I always took the engineering ownership. So I always used to focus on getting the products developed, implemented, and released.
CTO.
And well, see,
CTO.
kind of,
Okay.
yeah. Um, but more on the execution side also. CTOs
Yes.
typically tend to stay at little high level, architecture and this and that, and then implementation goes to somebody else. But we used to carry everything, but more on the engineering execution side. Then, as I said, I had colleagues and friends who used to be on business development, marketing, sales. That's how we used to kind of complement each other. So I have focused mainly on engineering, product management. That's my role. But now I am the co-founder. So after I started my journey, everywhere, I've been a co-founder and typically VP of either engineering or product management, and wear different hats based on the situation. So
Yeah. Yes, sir. And can you give some suggestions to mid-experience level employees, sir, like a senior engineer or program manager who want to take some calculated risk at this career point and also have a great balanced life, like mid-level?
okay, so one thing, earlier you take the risk, the better. Okay,
Correct.
every year or every whatever day you delay, you are
Mhm.
going to take. It's going to get harder and harder,
Yes.
because when you are because you are going to get more and more responsibilities on
Responsibility.
your shoulders.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
you are
Mhm.
going to get married, you are going to have kids, you are going to have a house, you are going to have your EMIs. It just adds up. Okay, so
Yes,
if
sir.
you have any notion of
Mhm. Taking risk.
taking up any chances, do
Mhm.
that early,
Okay.
because you can do that early, you can fail, no issues, you can get back to your regular life, no problem. So that is one thing. And what was the second thing? I forgot.
Like your advice for people who want to take some career breaks, means they want to take calculated risk at this
Uh,
career
Like
development.
mid-level
so,
career, not not
okay.
not in the sense that 40s, but like 30s, like us.
Exactly.
Like
So as I said, take that chance early. So
early.
if you are
Yeah.
at 30, take it at 30 itself, because 31 again makes it that much more difficult. 32
Yes,
will
yes.
make it more difficult.
More.
So
Right.
take your chances early. And there was something else you had asked. I think I
Like
forgot.
balanced life, how we can make a
Balanced
balance.
life, balanced life, balanced life. Forget about balanced life. Okay, if you are going to,
Hmm.
if you want to be, if you want to make your company successful,
Yes.
then you have to give not 100%, but
Uh-huh.
200%. So that means no, I want to have this life and that life. For the first few years, you have to dedicate 100%, and then once
Hmm.
you have established, once you have put few things in motion, and when things are in little bit of a cruise control, then you can start thinking of whatever, getting
Yes.
back to your balanced
Balance.
life. But to begin with,
Hmm.
200%. Without that, it won't happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right. And next question, sir. Do you have some suggestions, sir, for having a great joy of learning and for the students presently studying in our college? Some ideas how they can experience good joy of learning and also means exploring
So,
different things.
yeah, so the joy of learning will come only when you know what you have learned is, where is it getting used, where it is
Practical.
applied. When you
Practical.
really see a real life scenario, only then the joy will come. Otherwise, everything is dry. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, that's how our education system is, and that's
Mm.
one thing I regret. I never really figured out why we were doing all these things
Yes,
that
yes,
we
sir.
did in ECE. Okay,
Mm.
only when I went to US, I started understanding and appreciating. But that is one thing. You have to, you will really understand and appreciate
Mm.
what you are doing only when you kind of understand the real life application of that. So have
Yes.
that mindset. Where is it going to be used? Okay, you are learning all these beautiful algorithms or something. Oh, why? Okay, this is the application. You look at any company today, there is a, Mark might appreciate this better, but there is an algorithm, there is a math,
Math.
there is some whatever, something happening behind the scene, and that all boils down to whatever you have learned or whatever you have studied. It is
Yes, sir.
getting applied there. So if you know that, you will. I find that such joy, in knowing that.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
that would be my advice to the students.
I
Yes,
think
sir.
we are off 9 o'clock mark. So yeah,
Good.
let's.
uh,
I think your
mm,
suggestions are really valuable, sir. I think
yes, sir.
Rajesh, shall we conclude, or you want to ask one or two questions more?
Final thing,
Yeah,
just some of your ideas, sir, to
but
make
first,
this alumni interactions.
no, no. First,
How
do you have time, sir? for 5 or
Sorry.
10 minutes more.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. I have
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
I had a call actually, but anyway, that call is now. It's okay. We
Sorry.
can continue.
It's the last question, sir. Just how we can improve this alumni interactions more, and how we can grasp more from you, people like you, sir. That is
How you can improve alumni interaction?
more.
I'm sure whenever actually nowadays with technology you can have such type of calls with anyone. So
Yes, sir.
my suggestion is to get a list of. By the way, the students in my batch, I mean my friends, they are wonderful. I'm sure if you get in touch with Kishore or Vijay,
Yes, yes,
they
sir.
will
Yes, sir.
provide you. They will have the list of people
Yes, sir.
who. Well, I don't want to say too many things like successful this and that, but they will have a good list, alumni list.
Yes,
So make an effort to create a a program like this,
yes, sir.
whatever alumni interaction, and make it a
Mhm.
Zoom call. You don't have to have a physical interaction. If somebody is visiting Hyderabad, and if we can organize a physical meeting, wonderful. But otherwise, people are in US, they can definitely spare an hour, and you guys can conduct this type of interaction over a call like this. So that would be my suggestion, to gather the list of alumni
Yes,
and
sir.
just reach out to them. Tell them, hey, give us half an hour at your convenience. If you are in Hyderabad, wonderful. Otherwise, over a Zoom or
I
whatever this Google Meet.
I think we should
Mhm.
create a YouTube channel now, Rajesh. OU
Yes,
alumni.
Fine, create a YouTube. I mean, do the recording, put it on
yes.
YouTube, and
LinkedIn also
make
we
a
are planning.
yeah,
Mhm.
create a series, and
Yes, sir.
that would be wonderful.
Yes, sir.
So,
Fine. Thank you. Mhm.
Okay, sir.
hmm.
I think now we are 9:05, so
Yep,
let's
yep.
conclude.
Maybe we can conclude.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much,
Any
sir.
other last question?
I
No.
I have
Yes, sir.
actually asked my burning questions, so
Burning
I,
question.
I'm fine now.
So one question from me. So who all have you talked to before? Have you reached out to anybody?
You're the first.
Just
You're the
I'm the
first, sir.
first.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good, good. Let's start the trend. Let's start the trend.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
And I see you guys. I mean, Rajesh and Mark, you guys are a little passionate about this whole alumni thing. And my suggestion is, okay, this is a recording between us, but this has to reach somebody.
Yes, sir.
And even if they can get some inspiration or something they can learn, we have achieved it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
If one guy can learn something from our interactions and
Mhm.
take up some challenge or do something, especially I'm talking about not the regular journey, entrepreneurial journey,
Yes.
take some chances, take up some challenges. If they can gather any inspiration from this, we have achieved it.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. That is our
So
main goal,
good.
Agree.
sir.
So good start.
Actually, yes, sir. Actually, Rajesh is the one who has initiated this a lot. He has
Mm-hmm.
prepared, he has collected with, he has spoken with I don't know how many people, but he compiled all these questions and sent me. Like I'm feeling like how much time you spent on all these things. Like I'm just.
Good, good. If this
uh,
is your passion, absolutely do it, and I'm quite sure the students will benefit from these interactions.
Yes.
Absolutely, and maybe going forward, I'm not sure. No, I think that's fine. I mean, this is a good format. Let's see. How this goes,
Yes,
and
sir.
we can always improve.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes, sir.
and
good start.
yes,
Thank you, sir.
thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
And thank you for your all the amazing feedback, sir. I think whatever you spoke will make a difference. I
Yes,
hope
sir.
we will try to, like, at least I feel uh, this information is fresh. At least
Yes.
50 to 60% of the information, I feel that it is
New
really
information.
very useful for whoever are just about to start the career, or whoever are in the college, or different
May
set of
have
peoples.
yes.
So
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
we will try
Good, good.
to compile this information and put it in a consumable format. And yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that
so
would be the point. This
Yes, sir.
thing should not stay between three of us.
Yes.
yeah,
Let's see,
No, not.
if it can reach to other folks, and if they can, take benefit of this.
Yes, yes, it will be,
Okay.
sir.
And then my suggestion, another suggestion would be, as I said, this is a start. So get that list from Kishore and other folks, and there
So
are
you're
so many
talking about
people.
Kishore Pasupuleti only, right?
Yes,
Kishore, he's my
Yeah,
classmate.
yeah. I think he
yeah.
gave your number, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. He's
He-
the one who
Yes,
gave Rajesh's contact,
yes,
Yeah.
sir.
and ask him. There are several excellent, alumni who will give you far better insights and inputs than what I have shared. But yeah, you should reach out to those people also.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your
All
time.
right. Okay.
Thank,
Wonderful. Thank you
Bye.
very much. Okay.
thank you,
Bye.
sir. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.